stepped away, so it's hopefully not as loud. We're going on 48 hours with no power, no estimated restoration time. So I did some rigging, and I have our water heater hooked up, and that's the only thing on the generator right now, the electric water heater, because we no longer have hot water. So I'm going to let that run for an hour, hopefully get the tank warm, and then disconnect what I connected, which is very haphazardly put together, but we got to do something, and desperate times call for desperate measures. So I'm not going to show you it because it is not pretty, and it's probably breaking at least 2 electrical codes. I'm sure there's quite a bit more. Alright, I believe it has come to an end. 48 and a half hours later, and we have grid power again. Finally. Alright, so a lot of lessons learned. One lesson is this thing likes its fuel. I dumped in 15 gallons, and it had approximately, I think it says it holds 9, probably about 7. So we burned through the 7, and then I put another 15 in it over that 48-hour period. It did not run it overnight. So I came home from work around 10:30. I'd take a shower, eat a snack, and then I'd shut it down for the night, and then I'd start it at 6 o'clock the next morning. So I figured the refrigerators and stuff should be fine because you got a freezer and you're not opening them overnight. So, and the last time I did oil on this thing, it was like 25 hours. And now if we look at the total number of hours, we're at 63 and a half. So that is by far the most amount of time we've put on this thing since we've owned it. It's the longest outage we've ever had at this residence. And if you're wondering, no, I did not get that oil leak taken care of on that valve cover. It still drips just a little bit. The piece of plywood there was to level the generator because the driveway slopes. I thought it'd be better off if it's leveled. And I checked the oil level. I mean, it looks like a lot, but that's what oil looks like. Here's the other spot. I had it in a different spot before. So, but quite a few lessons learned with this. 24 hours we could do no problem because the hot water heater, or water heater, holds pretty well for temp. After that, not so much. So like I said, because we were at that 40-hour mark and there was no hot water anymore, I did a little electrical code violation, did some swapping around, and I directly wired the electric water heater to this. So, and I believe that's a 52-gallon water heater, so this generator handled it no problem. It wasn't maxed out, but you could definitely tell there was a really good load on this thing. So, you know, from what I've read is when you do that, it tends to use quite a bit of fuel. So, because they're working, I don't know, I was probably working at least 50%, probably closer to 75. It was working pretty hard. The one thing makes me a little nervous with that Generac is that the power's not real clean on it, and it's a little low, I believe, on the hertz side. I don't think it's at 60 hertz. I think it's a little less. So I didn't want to run a TV or anything like that, so I brought the suitcase generator, and this thing will run exactly at spec. Like, it is dead on 60 hertz. It runs the proper voltage. So I ran an extension cord in the back of the sunroom to the TV, just so that I didn't want to wreck the big TV or the big flat screen, so I did that. But otherwise everything else worked fine with the Generac. Like I was saying, we had refrigeration, lights in the kitchen. We got a hot plate and a griddle that we use for kitchen because we don't have our electric stove top hooked in with that, or oven. So we made it work. The only thing was the hot water was a little annoying. So glad this one is over. This was a doozy. I drove past some area near West Bloomfield, and there are still lines on the ground and trees on top of lines yet. So kind of feel bad for those people out there. They've been out about the same time when the storm came through. I want to say around 6 o'clock is when the radio got really busy at work, and it was just like call after call after call. So all around, roughly around that time is when everybody lost power. We lost here, it was closer to 5:45, and that was before the storm even hit here. So it must have took something out, maybe a substation or something, or definitely a feed line to this area. So glad it's over with. Hope to get everybody restored. It's supposed to be everyone restored tomorrow afternoon by 4 is what they say. So hopefully they do, because that's still a long ways out yet. So that'll be it for now.